everyone, Danielle here, giving you a quick little introduction or pre-introduction before the official introduction and the official episode that you're about to listen to. This episode is a unreleased episode of Books as Bad as Twilight. We actually recorded it, I'm trying to think, it's sometime last year in 2018, and it's about the book Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. That was the book that we were going to tackle on the podcast, and I actually started reading it, and it was completely my decision to be like, I cannot read this book. I'm a huge Pride and Prejudice fan. I thought this was just going to be kind of a parody. I thought that'd be a lot of fun. But Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, if you didn't know, is literally, because Pride and Prejudice is in the public domain, it's literally Pride and Prejudice with the sentences changed and a few additional sentences added. But you're still reading Pride and Prejudice. And because that's such like a kind of a daunting book, if you will, I personally, like, if I'm going to read a book of that scale, I want to read that book and I don't want to read a parody of it. So I actually like really didn't want to read the book anymore when I realized that's what it was. So I backed off. So that's me. You can blame me for that. Brittany wanted to keep reading it. Maybe she will keep reading it in the future. Who knows? But either way, that's all on me. But we did record an introductory episode for Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, assuming that we were going to move forward with it. And that's what you're going to listen to now. We enjoyed the episode so much that we thought, you know what? Let's just release it. So, yeah, here it is in all its glory, this unreleased secret episode of Books as Bad as Twilight. I hope you enjoy it. We had a lot of fun recording it, so, you know, there's that. But the next book we're going to be talking about is Where'd You Go, Bernadette? Hopefully those episodes will be coming out soon, but we don't have an official launch date yet because we've just been very busy, Brittany and I, and so we'll get it out as soon as we can, we promise. Big changes are coming to the podcast, and so we're really excited to announce them and whatnot, but just be patient with us. We're moving as fast as we can. So yeah, next episode we'll be talking about Where'd You Go, Bernadette. We're going to have a special voicemail segment, so if you send us a voicemail, never fear, we will be talking about it in that episode. I was going to put in this one, but I thought this one might be a little bit overshadowed, so I'm going to put in an official episode. So that will be in the next episode where we start talking about Where'd You Go, Bernadette. So with all that being said, thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you enjoy this unreleased episode of the podcast. And we will talk to you all soon. Bye. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a bad book in possession of a good reader must be subjected to much scrutiny. However praised or glorified such a book may be, this truth is a farce and does injustice to literature.
Oh, my dear Mr. Bennett, welcome to Season 3 of the Books as Bad as Twilight podcast, and we are reading Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Do us the honor of reviewing us on iTunes, 5 stars preferably, and you must come and visit us at our website, www.babatpodcast.com. Ew, I hate that word.
You don't like the word scrumptious, Brittany?
No, it's like moist or panties. Actually, I don't mind those words. For me, it's milky, creamy, and crusty. Ooh. I hate those 3 words.
Look at that.
Ugh.
Crusty.
Like
toe.
Like the crust that is on a milk carton.
What about the crusty crab?
So, that's fine.
Okay.
But like if you just say like, where's the pen? Like some type of crusty, it's in your other one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just going crazy over here.
I got you, girl. Don't you worry.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
University. No, that's it. Just crusty, milky, and creamy.
Okay.
It's just like, ugh. You can't use any other word to describe. Like when someone says her milky white skin, like, ew. No, there's no reason to say milky.
You don't think it's sexy?
No, I don't. Say her ivory skin or her pale complexion or her skin radiates like a full moon in the starry sky, you know? You don't have to say
beautiful.
milky. There's so many other pros.
And that was Brittany's writing advice.
No milky, no creamy, and no crusty.
Wise words to take with you through the rest of your life.
I'm trying to think of a romance like situation in which you would use crusty, and all I could think is like her crusty panties. That is absolutely
so
disgusting.
Disgusting. Oh, that is so disgusting.
Or a stiff sock. Masturbation. I'm talking about male masturbation.
Yes. Did you get that, folks? Did you get it?
I am not a good person.
No, you're a funny person. That's what you are.
Well, thank you.
You are
I
funny.
try hard.
She's funny, isn't she, folks? Give us feedback. That's our message for the day.
Yeah,
Talk to us.
Tell us something.
Please talk to us.
my
We're
God.
lonely over here. It's just the two of us making masturbation jokes.
We got another like on our page yesterday.
We did. I saw that.
I don't remember your name. I would have called you out.
I think it's Brandon something.
Is it Brandon something?
Let's see. Let's go check the Facebook.
We should like read all the people that like our stuff.
Should we? Yeah. We should. Let's go. I don't actually have the app on a Facebook on my phone.
You don't have a Facebook app.
I don't want it. I don't want it. Oh,
You don't want them tracking everything that you do, Danielle?
no, it's not that. It's just that, like, if I have it, I'll look at it more. But then
I
again,
look at it all the time.
I look at it all the time via Google Chrome on my phone. So it's like,
So you're just taking the extra steps.
look, I make my life more difficult. It's what I like to do. The guy who liked our page is Brian.
Oh, don't show me. I'm not going to be able to say it.
Kirchen?
Kirchen? Actually, yeah, let me see. Oh, where is it? Oh. Yeah. Hi, Brian K.
Brian K. Thanks for liking our page,
Yeah,
buddy.
tell us how you say your last name.
Yes, please do. Interact with us. We would love to hear from you.
I don't know him. Do you know him?
No, I don't. That's what's exciting.
You're a stranger, Brian. Don't be a stranger.
Don't be a stranger, Brian. You know, I say that because our Facebook, not all of the people, but most of the people who like our Facebook page are our friends.
Yeah. Can you imagine like how uncomfortable he's going to be when this episode is? Brian.
Let's make him super.
Brian.
And we're just going to reference you throughout the entire episode. So
I hope Brian likes this episode.
I hope Brian likes this episode because,
What are we doing in this episode?
oh, well, hello, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
I know. At first I was about to go into it and I was like, wait a minute. Oopsie. Yes, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Books as Bad as Twilight podcast.
Woo-hoo.
My name is Danielle.
And I'm Brittany.
And welcome back from our hiatus.
And we're talking to you, Brian.
Talking to you, Brian. I just winked and I'm like, wait a minute.
Audio media.
Yeah. Can't see me. It's okay. He knows in his heart that I winked. Whatever. So, season 3. We're here for season 3.
Yay.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It is. I can't believe we're this far.
I know. And I know we've talked about this several times, but I'm so glad we're done with Cursed Child.
Oh, my God.
Can we just talk about that for a second?
No, we're not touching that ever again.
Okay, it was just bad.
It was bad. And like, I find it funny that I texted you the other day still complaining about that damn book.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was about to say let's bring it up, but let's not bring it up.
No.
Yeah,
That's going to be a tangent.
Yes, it will be. But yes, so we are done with Harry Potter and the Cursed Child for better on this podcast. Now we're moving on to a book of your choosing, listeners. And it is Pride and Prejudice.
PP&Z.
PP and oh my God.
Pride and Prejudice and Zombies,
You know what
ladies and gentlemen.
You just made me think of,
What?
there's a movie that I really love called Patty Cakes, and it's about this girl. I know it sounds, it's about this girl who's like a rapper, and
Okay.
she makes a song called like PB&J, and then when you said PP&Z, I'm like, it goes PB&J, PB&J, and I'm thinking PP&Z.
She's the worst rapper in the world.
No, it's so good, the movie. It's she doesn't do that. That's not like her rap. That's just the intro to her rap. You have to see the movie. It's amazing. It's such a good movie.
You like the weirdest movie.
I like good movies. Listeners,
our Beesbo episode dropped.
Oh, I don't
Tell
like
us-
Beesbo. Well, actually, I do like Beesbo.
Love Beesbo.
I like it because it is so freaking funny. Sorry, what were you going to say to the listeners?
I was gonna say, tell us, how's Danielle's taste in movies?
My taste in movies is amazing and nobody understands. Like, I have great taste in movies, all right? No, Patty Cakes, I'm being genuinely serious. It's a really good movie.
I'm
like,
just picking on you.
I know, but seriously, folks. Brian, I'm talking to you.
Brian. Brian, have you ever watched Patty Cakes?
If so, we want to know.
Okay, let's move on from this.
So, anyway, yeah, we're talking about Pride and Prejudice and zombies. And before we begin, I want to quickly discuss our history.
Oh, yeah,
if
go
you will.
ahead.
So, you have not read Pride and Prejudice. How much do you know about it?
I only know from what I listened to. I haven't seen any of the movies, any of the, I think it's a play, isn't it?
If it is, it's not a well-known thing.
Yeah, I think
I've
maybe
never-
people what is it called, annotated it
Possibly.
into a
yeah.
play.
No, you mean abridged it.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, not abridged. They've taken it and put it into made it a play.
Adapted it. You mean.
Adapted,
Okay,
thank
sorry.
you.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow, words. Here we go.
words are difficult. The only thing I really know is what was discussed on the podcast Oh No Lit Class.
I haven't listened to their episode yet.
I liked it. I like
okay.
them. You guys
Me
are
too.
funny.
They are funny.
So
You would like them, Brian. Sorry.
Yeah, Brian. If you like us, you'll like them.
Yeah.
RJ,
Yeah.
more specifically.
Yeah.
But I liked their episode on it, and that's really all I know about Pride and Prejudice because
okay.
I don't read classic novels. I honestly can't tell you a classic novel I've ever read.
Why? I think you would.
Actually, I have Fahrenheit 451,
Okay.
and I don't read period pieces.
I was gonna
Let
say,
me
yeah,
put it that
Fahrenheit
way.
is much different than,
Yeah.
but it's still a classic. I honestly think you would like Pride and Prejudice. I know you make a face, but honestly, Pride and Prejudice is one of those novels that's written. It's stylistic, but it's not like you're reading Dickens. Like Charles Dickens.
I never read Charles Dickens either.
Charles Dickens is hard to get through.
Oh, is it?
Depending on which one you read, Oliver Twist I just read, and that was a difficult one to get through. But A Christmas Carol is one of my favorite books of all time.
Okay. I forgot that he wrote that.
Yeah. And Pride and Prejudice is, a lot of people kind of just group it into this, so for listeners, Brian, I have read Pride
You
and
should
Prejudice.
feel special, Brian. You're the only one we've ever called out on this.
I know, it's true. I've read Pride and Prejudice, I think just 2 times. Yeah, just 2 times. It's one of my favorite books. I love the 2005 movie and the 1995 BBC miniseries of it. Both are fantastic to me.
Mm-hmm.
But in different ways. But Pride and Prejudice, one of my favorite books, and I think a lot of people kind of just assume that it's this sappy romance, and it's really not. It is a love story, but it's more that society has kind of grouped it into being a love story. It's more about these 2 people growing, and because they grow,
Sorry.
you're fine.
Hit a box.
That's okay. You hit
Your original Nintendo box.
Nintendo 64.
I don't
Get it right.
know.
It's all good. It's all good.
Go ahead. The society
There's all
has,
love. Society,
has moved it into a romance or
they've kind of boxed it into a romance.
yeah.
And it's not that it's not a romance, because it is in many regards, but when you read it, it's more so that Darcy and Elizabeth are growing from each other. One is pride, one is prejudice. Though I would argue that they both have both of those things. But anyway, regardless, they're working together, so that's how they come together, that they learn from one another.
Mm-hmm.
It's more a story about personal growth, if anything.
Oh, kind of like Scorpius and Albus.
You know what? I love that comparison, but also never mention them again.
How dare you bring Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth into this?
It's too hard. I don't want to return to Cursed Child ever again.
Unless you see the play.
Unless we see the play, which
Brian, are you going to buy us tickets?
Yeah. Brian, we want to get a Patreon, so, come on. Just kidding, Brian. You know what, Brian? You're our listener.
Maybe we should start a Patreon just to go see the play.
That would be, maybe we could start, a GoFundMe.
Ooh.
Listeners, help us with this. Brian.
Let us go see things that we can afford to see on our own.
So true. I'm actually going to New York City.
Oh, are you?
One of those weekends I told you at the end of August.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yes, I might see a show. Won't be Cursed Child.
I was going to say, you gotta go see your friend?
Possibly.
Oh,
yeah.
That's good.
Not sure yet. Haven't reached out yet. But yeah, so, it's going to be a fun time. I'm going with my mom and grandma, so, it's great.
It's cute.
No, it's going to be awesome. We always have fun. So yeah, but Pride and Prejudice is one of my favorites. And so this is a book I've kind of stayed away from for a while just because it's just, I have a vision of what my favorite book looks like, and I don't want it to be tainted, but I feel like I'm at a point where I don't think it will be tainted because of this book. Like, you just have to separate them.
It's good that we're ruining all of your favorite books.
Oh, you're right. Like, my favorite properties, actually, because, like, Harry Potter, Beauty and the Beast, my favorite movie, Disney movie, 1991, folks. Like, I get it right, honestly, Brian. I think I'm, like, overdoing it, but honestly, Brian, you're our favorite listener right now. Listener of the day of the podcast.
Yeah, let's go with that.
So, since we talked about our history of Pride and Prejudice, why don't you read some reviews, Brittany?
Ooh, okay. Let me pull them up really quick. So I pulled all these reviews off of Amazon. Mm-hmm. We're going to go with the 1 stars first. Okay. So this one, it's a bit lengthy, so I'm just going to read the first couple paragraphs of it. Pass this version for the graphic novel. So there's a graphic novel of this as well, which is pretty cool. I was highly anticipating this book, so much so that I forced myself to read the original text of Pride and Prejudice so that I would have a foundation for this book. I unexpectedly ended up loving the original text, so when it came to reading this book, I actually put it off. Finally, once my crush on Mr. Darcy waned, I picked up this book, hoping for a good zomrom, a zombie romance, and I hate that abbreviation. Sorry, dude. Or dudette, I don't know. Unfortunately, this book is 95% the original text, which was with just a thread of zombie changes written into the story. Once or twice, there were amazing moments, like zombies mistaking cauliflowers for brains, but on the whole, the zombie thread was so infrequent that it was disjointed. For as long as this book is, I wouldn't waste your time or effort.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, like, that's neat that the person is just, like, repurposing the original text to make it, I guess, a parody?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Is a parody, would you say that a parody is celebrating a text or making fun of it?
I would say a parody, well...
Or could it be both?
It could be both, but... Well, I'm thinking more of a satire than a parody.
That's true, because
if you think of Weird Al, all of his songs are parodies.
Right.
But they don't either make... he's literally just taking the tone and making up his own lyrics.
Yeah.
So there's no real basis of it.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say this is a satire.
Would a parody be a satire on current events? Not the work itself?
It could be.
What's the definition of a parody?
Yeah, let's look that up. That's a great idea. So we can actually seem intelligent.
I know. Same.
Just going to take a long drink of water.
Tall drink of water.
Tall drink of water. I should just leave this, like, moment of silence in the Bible.
Oh, God, that'd be so weird. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
A parody is an imitation of style of a particular writer, artist, or genre with deliberate exaggeration of comedic effect.
Okay, so that would be the zombies, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be the zombies. But it's not really... It's an imitation. It's not glorifying or tearing down someone's work.
Gotcha.
So it's just like, hey. Yeah.
Right.
So that's pretty neat.
So in comparison, what I keep thinking of is the movies that were really popular in the 2000s. I'm thinking of Scary Movie.
Yes.
Not Another Teen Movie. What was that movie that made fun of Twilight? It was like werewolves. I forget what it was called. Twilight.
It's not Twilight.
Yeah. Vampire something. I don't know. Vampire Suck, I think it was called.
I think so.
Yeah, it might have been called that.
It's kind of funny.
There was a Hunger Games one too, but I never bothered.
Epic movie.
Epic movie, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. So everything on that thread.
Yeah, that's definitely parody, but in a different sense than...
Yeah, because it's definitely not satire. Those are definitely parodies.
Yeah.
All right, so cool. It's an exaggeration of someone else's work.
Correct, yes. So awesome.
So this is definitely a parody then.
Yes, it is. Cool.
So let's go on to another 1-star.
Alrighty.
The idea had potential, but ultimately fell flat. Ugh. I love the beginning of this. Ugh. I get the attempt at humor, but it wasn't funny at all. The thing is, the author does a really poor job at trying to imitate the writing style so that the writing styles don't blend well, which is annoying. The biggest problem I have is the introduction of the... How do you say this word? Of the Shaolin. The Shaolin monks and ninjas, which is amazing. I did not know this book had monks and ninjas.
Neither did I.
Oh, that's so funny. I mean, I get it's supposed to be funny. I guess I just thought it takes place in England, so the fighting style would be like the English. Good point.
Yeah.
It isn't just altering the book that was irritating. I like Jane Austen and have read Pride and Prejudice, and I also have a goofy, dorky sense of humor, so I really expected more. The whole kung fu ninja zombie thing was poorly executed. I was expecting the book to be more geared towards horror and suspense, as it was nothing to do with the book. Hold on, sorry. I was expecting the book to be geared towards horror and suspense, as it was. Nothing in the book was suspenseful or scary, nor was it funny. Just kind of a wasted opportunity.
Interesting.
Did you expect this to be like horror?
I did, actually. I expected it to be Pride and Prejudice, but with zombies. That's literally what I was going to
Really?
say. Like, I just expected it to be, like, I expected it to be comedic in the sense that, like, oh, zombies are in Pride and Prejudice. Like, that in itself is funny. Because that just shakes everything up. But I did think I didn't expect to be scared by it, but I did think it would be like something that was going to be like, I don't know. What about you? Or have you even ever thought about it that much?
I didn't really think about it. Yeah. I think I just anticipated it being like zombies were a day-to-day thing. Like, it was just commonplace.
That's what I was thinking, too.
You know, like, I thought it was going to follow the same thread as Pride and Prejudice. Like, trying to, like, they're just going about their normal day. But then a zombie pops up, and it's like, ugh, again?
Right.
That's what I anticipated. So, more comedic than horror.
Right.
I didn't expect to be reading The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah, no.
Or It, or something.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah, that's interesting. I had no anticipation. And I guess also because I have no interest in Pride and Prejudice. So, I know, I'm sorry. Danielle's making a face.
Did you hear what I just said? I was like, Danielle's making a face. George is getting upset. If you watch Seinfeld, you'd know.
I don't remember it. I'm sorry. It's been a long time since I watched Seinfeld.
That's okay. Yeah, you know, hopefully this book will get you interested because I'm telling you, it's such a good... I've only read this and Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Sense and Sensibility is not my favorite thing in the world. Like, I appreciate it for what it is, but Pride and Prejudice is so good.
It's going to be interesting because you have read Pride and Prejudice. I think you'll be able to pick out where he is... Who's the other author?
The author is Seth Grahame-Smith. I always want to say Seth Graham Greene. I don't know why.
Seth Green, that's why.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, Seth Grahame-Smith.
So I wonder where you'll be able to pick up where Seth is putting his own spin on things.
Right.
Like this person said, it's really hard. Like the meshing of the two styles is annoying.
I think I will notice.
So that's going to be interesting.
That will be interesting. Yeah, we'll see.
All right. And so for a third 1-star, do you love period romance and zombies and a bit of tongue-in-cheek, lowball humor? Yes to all of those for me. Except the period piece. If you answered yes to all three, you should love this book. But unless you drastically lower your expectations now, you will not.
I have. It's fine.
Same. That's the whole premise of this podcast.
Right, yeah.
With all the rather high praises I read in the press for this book, coupled with the fact that I love novels in both genres, I fully expected to dig it. After barely making it through, I came to the conclusion that the critics must have... Hold on. What's that word? Must have... Right where my thumb is.
Okay, must have... Lauded?
Lauded? What does lauded mean?
Lauded. I've heard it before. Lauded the thing. Maybe. Wait, can I read the sentence again?
Yeah, sure. Context clues, everyone.
Yeah, context. I can't even read the critics. So maybe it means like they just like automatically liked it because of the concept. Like they didn't actually care about the execution of it. I'm guessing. Yeah.
So I've come to the conclusion that the critics must have lauded the thing strictly because of the fabulous concept and the cover art without ever actually reading it. I mean, it really should have been great, but the numerous times I wondered if it were not written by a 12-year-old boy. That's kind of funny. Surely no one but the author bothered to edit this, given the numerous topographical, grammar, context, and other errors. As somebody else already pointed out, doing a decent job of tacking on 30 pages of new material to the existing work had it not been that hard. Tacking on 30 pages of new material to the existing work could not have been that hard.
Interesting.
And then there was a little more, but it's really nothing to add to it. So those were all the 3 1-star reviews.
You know, it just made me think that review and how you mentioned like all the books that we've read on here are like ruining properties of things that I love. How we have not read a book on here that's been like something wholly original. It's always been based off something.
That's true.
So that'll be interesting for next season.
Ooh, yeah.
We already know. You might. Do you know, Brian? Take a guess, Brian. Let us know.
He's gonna unsubscribe instantly.
Please don't, Brian. We really like you. We're doing this for the love, right? For the love of you, our listener. So I think that's interesting. Like that this is always building off of something.
Yeah, I wonder why we did that.
I mean, it's definitely not... it was obviously based on voting.
Well, the first one we just did, and the other 2 were voted.
Correct. And I will say that... So, by the way, this was in our first poll that we had.
Yes.
This book came in second. So that's why we're reading this.
And it's appropriate for this time of year.
It's fall. Halloween's coming up.
There is pumpkin pie I bought yesterday at the store.
Don't tell me this.
Oh, I know.
No, it's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
No. You keep going.
And like, as soon as it started August, because we're in August now, right? Yeah. August 1st came around and all the Halloween candy came out in the store. I'm like, Jesus Christ, guys.
I think we were talking about this actually. Yeah,
I think so. It's like, give it a break.
I know.
You know who's getting Halloween candy now for October?
Insane people.
October 31st.
Don't get your candy right now.
It's gonna go stale.
Yeah, it'll be stale. Like we don't want that. Kids don't want that. I have one more question for you actually before we go into the 5-star reviews. What is your opinion on the zombie genre?
I love the zombie genre.
Okay.
Only because like I like it for the horror factor. It doesn't make any logical sense. Like zombies don't make sense. There's no reason that zombies exist. But, however, there is government documentation of experiments that put people in zombie-like states and like using like electrodes and like chemicals and stuff like that to basically control a person that they have no will of their own. Isn't that scary? Now, I listened to that on a conspiracy podcast, so I don't know how true that is. But I do know zombies have a lot of history, and in other cultures, like it's black magic in some, and like other places, it's good. Right. Like I don't know why, but I don't remember. But there's a lot of history when it comes to zombies, and I do think that the zombie apocalypse will come. I don't think it's the dead rising from their grave. Like, it's not Dawn of the Dead. It's going to be some kind of biochemical thing that drives people insane. Kind of like a few years ago when bath salts were really bad and that one guy ate the face of another guy in Florida. Do you remember that? Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that in a really long time. Wow.
I think about it constantly.
Oh my God. Well, now I will.
It's so scary because I do think that we have the intelligence for it, and I think we do have I think it's weaponized already. It's just not released. This is my conspiracy side coming out. I fully believe that the zombie apocalypse will happen.
Interesting.
Did you know that that's actually when you're interviewing for FBIs and stuff like that, that could be a question. I think it was on the History Channel that they're interviewing this guy, and the question he was asked was, what's the best place to be during a zombie apocalypse? It's one of those scenarios that you kind of have to think of off the fly and do your reasoning and all that type of stuff. He said an airport, which is pretty smart because you have your fuel, you have backup food, you can see for miles, you have your communication, you have your tower, and it's all flat everywhere around, so you could see the threats coming. Right. And you could prep for it. But my argument is there's a lot of goddamn windows in an airport.
Yes,
that's very hard to defend. So,
oh my God.
Ugh. I think that was a pretty smart thing. I would choose a warehouse. Because you have multiple points of entry and exits, but they all have those metal doors, all the docks, and you can always back up trucks into those docks to provide more space. Especially if you do an Amazon warehouse, you'll have weapons, you'll have food, you'll have all different types of stuff, and you'll have modes of transportation, you'll have gas. So my argument would be a warehouse.
Interesting.
So
I have never thought about this at all. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I could care less about zombies. I could just care. It's not that I dislike the genre. I mean, because I don't read it. I don't I've never watched The Walking Dead. Not because I don't I'm not interested actually. I can't even say that I'm interested. I
you
just
also don't
care.
like horror.
I don't. Yeah, I do not like scary stuff. But even zombies don't really freak me out that much because to me, what you just said makes it a little more real. But in my head, I'm it's less real than when it freaks me out. That would just scare me. But even okay, when I was 13, I first watched Signs. I was terrified. Okay, and even today,
aliens are real. Go ahead.
Hey, I believe it. But no, I'm just not interested in zombies at all. So that's another reason I never wanted to come to this, because I love period pieces for sure. I love period dramas, even when they're bad, they're so good. But I just don't care about zombies. So I saw this and I'm why? Why would I ever read this? I just don't care.
Because it's fun.
Exactly. I think it will be really fun. But zombies, I could care less.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
But the type of zombie that's in this type of book doesn't make sense.
Right, exactly. Which is not why I dislike it. I just
So I can't really critique that aspect of it, because it's like we were saying before, Twilight, there's no blood flow. So there's no semen, so there's no baby. For this, there's no blood flow, so your muscles aren't going to be able to be moving, and there's no reason that they're hungry for brains.
Right. And, actually, though, now that you just said that, I think a period piece is almost perfect for a zombie type thing to happen.
Oh, really? Why?
Because I think there's something about, to people in the modern age watching period pieces, something just feels very foreign and almost like otherworldly to them. Wow, this was an actual period of time where people did things that are just so not relevant at all anymore today. And I think when you think about it, it almost feels like it never happened in a weird way. It's almost like reading the Bible, and thinking about these olden times, that might or might not have existed, and stuff that happened. It almost feels like a fairy tale. And I feel like zombies would kind of work in that, because even though they don't make sense, it does feel so foreign that it could almost work.
World War II feels foreign to me, even though
my
grandfather-in-law, that does not work, my husband's grandfather was in the war.
Same with my grandfather, yeah.
It's literally just 2 generations away of like from Nazi Germany. That is mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It seems so foreign. It seems so long ago because I think with technology and how connected we are to everything in the world now, the concept of concentration camps and somebody just taking over countries by literally his words, then later on came backed by force. It's just a weird concept.
Yeah, and I mean, it does feel foreign, but I was going to say also, like, it feels foreign, but at the same time, technology's moved so quickly that I guess to us, like I think about when we were little, like even like I was thinking about in college, smartphones were like an iPhone. I think the first iPhone I think was 2011. I think it came out, maybe 2009.
I don't know.
It might have been 2009. I forget. It was around that time. I didn't have a smartphone for most of my time in college. I got an iPhone when I was a senior in college, and iPhones had been around at that point.
Yeah.
So
I had they were so slow. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
They were so slow.
I had a BlackBerry, I remember, when iPhones were popular, and that was just a mess.
LG Impression, that was my favorite phone I ever had.
Really?
I miss buttons.
I do too, actually. That's why I didn't want a smartphone when I was younger. I actually really liked, and I still have this phone, the Razr.
Oh my god, I loved my Razr. I had it in blue. What did you have it in?
No, I had it in cinnamon, like the red color.
Yeah.
But I've never... What kind of blue did you have
it was
in?
a dark blue. It was
That's
like a navy
awesome.
blue. Loved it.
I love those colors because like I think the normal colors for a Razr were like silver. There was a pink color.
There was pink.
Like there were 2 pinks, but there was like one that was more like
yeah.
I think there was like a light black, gold possibly. Gray.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like very kind of boring colors. And that's why when I got the red, I was like, yes. And I love navy blue too. Like that's totally my second choice. Like I loved that color because it looks so different on the Razr.
Brian, what's your favorite color
What's
Razr?
your favorite color Razr, Brian? I know, it's like Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. Let's talk about old phones. But yeah, Anyway, so let's get on to the 5-star reviews.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Don't apologize, my friend. Razrs are a great topic.
So this one is 5 stars. Everything is better with zombies. As the majority of people who have read the original Pride and Prejudice, I loved it. So when I saw there was a version with zombies, I just had to have it. Now these zombies are not your quote Walking Dead end quote zombies, but they added another layer of depth to the genius storytelling of Jane Austen. I would recommend this book to fans of the original and people who perhaps the original was too, quote, period for, which is good for both of us because I don't like period pieces. So that's one. That seems pretty cool. Every review I've read so far has read the original.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. Yeah.
So I wanted to pull those because I feel like, not that they'd be biased one way or the other.
Yeah, but
Yeah. So it's good to get both sides of it.
Yeah.
Here's another one called labeled hilarious, and their name is Mr. Darcy Lover, which is pretty funny. I read this book pretty quickly while on vacation. It had been a while since I read a book that it was so gruesome it was funny. It's not for everyone, but I tend to like strange and gruesome humor. The original P&P is my all-time favorite book, so it was interesting to see how Austen's plot would fit with zombies added. To me, it held well and made me laugh in the process. If you like Austen and zombies, this is a book you'll enjoy. So again, another P&P fan.
Yeah.
Loving the zombies of it.
Right.
And the third one we have, I swore to myself that I would never read this book because I thought it was basically defiling Pride and Prejudice. A friend that knows the extent of my Austen obsession bought it for me as a joke, and on a rainy day, with nothing else to do, I gave in. I thought, well, I'll just confirm it was a swill. That it's swill. I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
I haven't laughed out loud at many times. Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't laughed out loud that many times since the first time I read a Christopher Moore book. Really, this book is hysterical, fascinating, and actually uses most of the original text. I would highly recommend it for any Austen fans with a sense of humor that aren't afraid to laugh at how ridiculous the premise is. I mean, honestly, the Bennet family slayers, it's hilarious.
That does make me think it will be hilarious.
I hope so.
I hope so too, because I think that it's fun to, like, kind of, like we talked about, parody these types of things. Like, I think it would be awesome to see Elizabeth Bennet kick some ass. I just think it would be amazing because Elizabeth Bennet, a lot of it, I mean, Pride and Prejudice is, for all intents and purposes, a very tame novel. Like, there's not that much physically going on. It's a lot of in their heads a lot of times in the characters. I mean, they do, like, travel a lot and stuff, but it's not, like, battles and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just interactions.
Yeah.
And which is something I love a lot. It does concern me a little, though, that a lot of it's, like, just taking the original text. Like, I thought it was just a complete rewrite with zombies. Like, so that's why it says by Jane Austen and Seth Grahame-Smith. So that kind of bothers me, but we'll see how it turns out when we actually read it.
I don't know if that would if I had read P&P.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would have affect my opinion of it. Only because when we were talking about The Cursed Child, we had a lot of issues with the dialogue and how the characters were portrayed. Yeah. And we didn't feel that they fit the original characters. So I kind of like how he's ripping off Jane Austen, because then you're getting your true to character characters.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of lazy than, like, an original rewrite. But original rewrites could go terrible.
It could, but, yeah. I guess, yeah. I know what you're saying.
So I'm split on it.
Yeah.
Especially because the reviews on it are also split.
They are really split, which is very interesting.
The book on Amazon has, like, a 3.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very middle of the road book.
Yeah. And I was even going to say, like, that other reviewer, I think it was the last one you just read, where she was saying, like, this was a book I never thought I would read. I was staying away from. That was, like, what this book was to me.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this book, it's definitely been published, I believe, over 10 years, because...
Has it really?
Because I specifically remember when I was a teenager, still actually maybe just graduated high school, I went to church camp, as one does. And my one friend loves Pride and Prejudice as well, and we both talked about it and how we both would never read this book.
2009 it was copyrighted. So
that would make sense, actually, because I graduated in 2009, and that was the last year I went to church camp. So, did you go to church camp, Brian? If so, let us know.
Brian that.
Brian, we want to know.
We don't want to know Brian's life. Oh, I mean, like, we want to know your life, Brian, but things like politics and religion are your own business.
Oh, I don't care about the religious part, but just, did you go to church camp? Did you have a fun time? Like, church camp, look, for all things like that they do wrong, I loved church camp.
I never went to church camp.
There's this, it's weird to talk about, because there is this kind of side of saying, like, oh, they're manipulating you. I think partially they were, but at the same time, with your friends and stuff, if you just look at it as camp, there's this great community aspect to it.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it so much every time I went. I do miss it a lot. Like, it was so much fun.
I miss housing and band camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was never in band, but I understand what you're talking about.
Yeah. I miss band camp and band camp.
Band camp.
One time at band camp. I also miss, like, the housing training in college. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you have the whole run of the campus with just your friends.
Well, I never did. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I'm explaining it to you. So that was a lot of fun, especially the field days.
Yeah. Interesting.
But then I got old and I didn't want to do it anymore, and now I miss those days.
Oh, I know. Isn't that? I mean, it's obviously true. Like when I was in college, I enjoyed it, but now that I'm out, I'm like, I miss it. Like I miss being with my friends all the time. I miss that almost like this weird independence, not the same type of independence that you get when you're an adult, because like you're still on the college campus.
Adult has responsibilities.
It's so hard.
It's so hard.
But you know, like you're still like a student, which I love because I loved how everybody's so embracing like academia, like that they just want to talk about whatever subject that you're learning about.
Yeah.
And like when I got home after I graduated, like nobody wants to talk about that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And that bogs me down.
It's so upsetting. It's like, oh, I read this article. Want to talk about it? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even just like how people talk about it. Like they talk about it like in a way that's just so shallow sometimes. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't.
I feel like I got dumb since graduating college.
Sometimes I kind of feel like I did too. But I think I wasn't as invested in college as I should have been. So sometimes I kind of feel like in some ways I got dumber, but in other ways I got smarter because like now I wish I was in college, you know.
That's why I'm looking into getting my master's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was our college discussion, folks, and remembering the good times
that are no longer.
That are no longer. So, oh, how the years go by. You don't know that song?
All I remember is Vitamin C's one that you play at every goddamn graduation.
And that was, you know that they made a Pokemon music video out of that?
Did they really?
It was like Vacation. Or wait, no, that's their Vacation. That was a different song, Vacation. But that was also Vitamin C. Sorry, I'm getting it mixed up.
What is the graduation song?
As we go on, we remember all the times we had together.
I'm cutting all this.
Are you?
If I'm editing, yes.
Well, then we're just gonna have to do something about that.
Oh, funny.
But yeah. So, is there anything else do you think we need to talk about before we actually?
No, I'm actually just really excited to dip my toes into some classic literature.
Oh yeah, classic literature. Brittany, don't get me started. No, I'm excited too. I think this will be a really fun book compared to I think Lost in the Book was pretty fun.
Yeah. Sorry. No, you're fine.
Cursed Child was not fun at all.
No. And
I think we definitely need to come
Lighten
back
the
to something more fun. And I don't think, like I said, I love Pride and Prejudice. I don't think this is going to be a book that's going to be poking fun at it. Actually, this just reminded me, I read another book series. I don't like Star Wars at all. I just don't.
I never watched any of it.
I've seen the newer movies and I've watched like a few of the older ones. I just don't like them that much, but I like the newer ones. But this guy, I forget the author's name, but he wrote a series of plays based on Star Wars. Like they're retellings of Star Wars movies, and they're written like they would be a Shakespeare play.
Oh, okay.
And they're amazing.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Yeah, I forget what they're called, like if there's a series title or what.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. And that's what I thought of when I saw this. I don't think this is quite the same because in those books, he's literally he's writing it. Like he is writing these movies out as Shakespeare plays, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
I kind of thought this would be something similar, but now that the reviews are saying otherwise, I'm kind of a little disappointed. I don't want to feel disappointed going in, so I'll probably let go of that and just try to read it for what it is and make my own opinion, but still. But those are good books. You should check those out.
I won't, but you should, Brian.
Brian should. Do it, Brian. Do it. Do it!
All right, everyone, let us know. Oh, God damn it. We forgot to do our whole sponsor thing. Oh,
we are... What?
Can we find this on Audible? Let's see.
Yes, I'm sure we can. Whoa. Don't fall over, Brittany.
I got it.
You got this. You got this.
We remember
all the times we had together. We're really good at what we do.
So good.
Yeah.
Like, you have no idea.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. I haven't even brought it up yet. Where is my Audible app? There it is. Who can get it first?
I did.
Darn it.
So it is on Audible.
Okay.
And for the price of... Oh, look. They have, like, the whole series. They have 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This is a trilogy. I don't know if we mentioned that on here.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
And it looks like the other 2 are just written completely by themselves.
Yeah.
The second one also has Jane Austen. So, Pride and Prejudice on Audible is $24.95.
But with our sponsor link, which is www.audibletrial.com/BaBaT, you can get this audiobook for free along with a free 30-day trial to audible.com. Audible is the leading provider of audiobooks. So they have over, I think, 180,000 titles, possibly more, because I know you were saying.
Well, yeah, I remember on another podcast who's also sponsored by Audible, there was like 200 and some thousand things on Audible to like use.
Oh, right. So they got podcasts. And,
yeah. They have podcasts. They have those great courses.
Yes, I love getting those.
And all that type of good, happy stuff.
Yeah, and what's great about that? Good, happy stuff. Hey, you can say shit.
I know, but
not here.
I don't want to say that Audible shit because it's not.
It's not. No, but yeah, like the great courses, I have a ton of them from Audible. There's still 1 credit, so that's really awesome.
Yeah.
So you should definitely check out Audible. Once again,
it's in our show notes, but what also is in our show notes?
Oh, well, in our show notes is our links to social media. Ooh. We are on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook. We have a group and a page on Facebook. We are on Goodreads.
We have a website.
Our website. I was thinking other social media. I'm like, is there more?
No, you hit them all.
Okay, cool.
Instagram?
Instagram. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have a website. It's www.babatpodcast.com. There you can find all our episodes, where to listen. You can find all our links to social media. Like I said, all links to listen. So, like, you can go on iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, Podcast Addict.
Podcast Addict is what I listen to us. A bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff on there. You'll see links too.
And we have our RSS feed. I think you said that. I'm
Indeed.
not sure.
I didn't say it yet,
okay.
So you got this.
Cool.
So yeah, you can listen lots of places.
And we also have something really cool in the works, ladies and gentlemen.
We really do. It's going to be freaking awesome.
And you're going to find out maybe in 2 seasons.
It's going to be really cool. Look, I'm really excited about it. So I'm sad that we can't share, but we will. We're going to pump it up. Maybe we should like try to be really like creative and like drop hints, but so like coy. really like obscure hints that nobody's going to get. Right?
Why would we
just because we want to make them like, what is it? And Brian will write to us being like, what is it?
He's gonna hate us.
Anyway. All right.
Books as Brian as
We're gonna change our name.
Brian, you're bad to the bone. I saw a keychain today. Yeah. This is really off topic. And it was in like Comic Sans. Oh. It was like really corny. And it was at Turkey Hill and it said Bad Boy on it. And I was like, who is buying this keychain that says Bad Boy on
in Comic Sans?
In Comic Sans in bright blue like your shirt.
Oh.
In like bright blue coloring and bubble letters and like all this type of stuff. And I was like, whoever buys this is not an actual bad boy.
Brittany, I have a request of you. Return to Turkey Hill. Take a photo of this. Oh, no, yeah. Don't buy it for me. Don't do that. Don't waste your money.
I will take a photo of it.
Yeah, take a photo of it, and it will be our picture.
Bad boys. I expected a Z at the end of it. Bad boys.
That would be funny.
All right. Anyways.
All right. So thanks for listening, folks. It's been a treat. Oh, real quick, let's talk about our art and music.
Oh, yes. Katie Hartung has done our image design.
Indeed.
Go ahead.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
She did our fantastic logo. You can find all of her stuff, well, her website in our show notes and on our website. Indeed.
And we haven't picked out our music yet. So at this point, we don't know, but a link will be in the show notes for who does our music for this season. So be sure to check that out. And hopefully in the next episode, we will know at that point, because we're so good at podcasting,
Yeah.
Your face. What was my face? What was the expression?
You were so happy, and then you made eye contact with me and went completely blank for no reason.
I know, because I was thinking to myself, I was like,
"Oh, we're good at podcasting.
Are we actually good at podcasting?" I think I just had an existential crisis. Like,
oh God,
wow,
that was so funny.
This is when we wish it was a video medium,
so you could see me throw myself around, and you just like.
I think
at
it's
me.
funny. Yeah, I do stare. I'm like this. I'm like, so Brittany, what do you think about this book? Wait, Brittany.
Other side.
I looked the other way. You know what? My life is like an episode of The Office.
Oh my
okay.
God. Was the camera over there?
Yes.
All right. Let's end this. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Brian.